called the Manhattan Center, and then you've got the Hammerstein
Yeah.
Then you've got the Grand Ballroom, which is upstairs, and I believe Ring of Honor is going to run a different
Manhattan Center. Isn't that where they used to do the original Raw shows?
Yeah, way back in the day. Yeah. Well, they used to run the Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie as well.
Yeah, I've been there with you.
Yeah, Ryan, did you hear the main event for that night, by the way?
I know they're doing the Ladder War, and then
the Ladder War. Yes,
Brian Danielson.
Brian Danielson versus Austin Aries. He's going to wrestle Austin Aries for the world title. That's his last. He's in Boston the 25th, and then the 26th for your guys' show. He's fighting Austin Aries for the title in his last.
I'm going to leave you guys on this note, and you guys do a great job. And Max, it's been an honor talking to you, and Ryan's always great talking to you. The greatest night in history to me in the last 10 years. For any wrestling company was the night in WCW. Remember this night, fellas? Remember that night when Sting got beat down mercifully by the NWO, and he disappeared for a couple of months, and then he came back with the black hair
and the Raptors and the baseball bat.
Yes, and everybody thought Jesus came back, and he fought Hogan, and the match went off the air that night at 11:15, and we didn't see the ending. We had to wait for another week.
Now, let me ask you, was this the title change when Sting won the title at Starrcade?
Yes.
You know what? The next night they were in Baltimore. I lived in Baltimore at the time. I went to that Nitro the very next night. I won some tickets on the radio, and I saw the next night when they had the rematch, Sting and Hogan on Nitro. I was at that show, and it was cool.
How was it?
It was a great show. It was the first time I'd been to a Nitro. I had been to a bunch of NWA events as a kid, but as far as WCW Nitro, I'd never been. And it was the first time I ever saw Hulk Hogan in person, or not Ric Flair. I've seen him a bunch, but Hulk Hogan. It was the first time I ever saw him in person. So it was cool. But I remember being at that time, it wasn't like Hulk Hogan. It was the NWO Hulk Hogan. So it wasn't the icon guy, you know what I mean? But it was still amazing. Yeah, it was a hot period. That was like when they were at their peak, right in 98, I believe it was, 97.
Yeah, 98, yes. And you're right. You clicked on WWE, McMahon and Austin was going at it there, and they clicked into NWO with Bischoff when they beat him down. And used to do
DX going on, you had Tyson going on, you had all that ministry. It was a great time.
That was the peak of professional wrestling. These young kids don't really. My nephew regrets to this day that I tried to get him into wrestling back then. He didn't get into it. But, you know, the one good thing about this young man is, fellas, he respects wrestling history. So he watches the archives and stuff. You know, the classics, he respects it. So, you know.
Good stuff, man.
Hey, fellas, take care. And, Ryan, I'll see you on the 26th, buddy.
All right, sounds good, my man. Thanks for calling us. Appreciate the call.
Jesus.
I want to get these. A lot of people have been waiting on the line for a minute. I know we're at 9:00 Eastern time on the dot.
I'm cool
right
if you
now.
are, man.
Yeah, I'm cool. I want to take some more of these phone calls. Get these phone calls out of the way. We got about 3 or 4 more to go. We'll get them out of the way. We'll do chat shout-outs. We still have to do that as well. And then we've got a lot of news and rumors that are coming out of SummerSlam, coming out of Monday Night Raw last night. So I want to talk about that just a little bit. And then UFC 102 is this Saturday night. We won't talk much about that, but we at least got to talk about the main event coming up with Couture and Randy Couture and Nogueira on Saturday night. So we'll get these phone calls out of the way. And then, like I said, chat shout-outs. Lots of news and rumors, and UFC 102. So hopefully you guys will stick around. We'll go a little bit late tonight and tear down the house like we usually do. Let's go back to New York. Another caller, different caller from New York. You're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
What's up, guys? Do you know if Raw is going to Madison Square Garden this year?
I'm not sure if they've announced anything just yet. Actually, you know what? The weekend of, God, I wish I had the last caller on the line. I believe September 26th. I'm thinking September 26th is the Ring of Honor show. September 27th, I want to say that there's a show at Madison Square Garden, a live event, because they're in Albany. They're up here in Albany that following night. We're actually going to do a live WZR radio telecast from inside the Times Union Center in Albany for that Raw on September 28th. But I think there's a house show on September. I could be wrong here. I'm not sure. Somebody in the chat room actually wants to go check that on WWE.com. I believe it's September 27th. There's a live event there. It's not a live Raw taping.
And we're gonna do a what? A live what?
We're going to do a live, what did I say, radio telecast?
That's exactly what you said.
Ah, son of a bitch. Live radio broadcast.
There you go.
From inside the Times Union Center on September 28th. So we're going to plug that up big. But I'm not sure, man. I wish I mean, not a live Raw. I know that's not confirmed just yet. But I think there is something going on the day after the Ring of Honor show at the Hammerstein Ballroom, I believe.
And even, do you think DX will get a push at the tag team titles?
DX, the tag team champion. Well, it's possible, but I think if you were going to put the tag team titles on somebody, I would say the Legacy. Some of your younger stars, you know, obviously Jericho and Big Show have them right now. But
there you go. September 28th.
Is it September? Well, September 28th.
And then again in November 16th.
September 28th is Raw in Albany. So what is it? A SmackDown and ECW house show? It's got to be.
It's I don't know. 28th is Raw in Albany. The 16th in New York is Raw. Those are the two TVs that are coming to New York in the next month and a half.
Oh no! All right. So there you go. There's your answer. You have a WWE Monday Night Raw telecast on November 16th at Madison Square Garden. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I thought you were talking to the caller.
I am. Did he leave?
I think he's gone. Yeah, he hung up.
Oh, he did hang up.
Yeah.
What happened? We were having a good conversation. Just hung up on him?
He was a mumbler. I didn't like him. Get out of here.
He was a nobody. I didn't like to get out of here.
I said a mumbler. He was a mumbler. Get out of here.
Get out of here. California, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, what's happening?
What's up, man? Hey, let me just say, last week when we had Big Vito on the show and you called in from Las Vegas. Goddamn, man, I missed that. I heard the slot machine behind it. I know.
You lucky son of a bitch. Were you there for Raw last night, or were you just at Vegas for like a weekend?
You know, actually, I was coming to see my family in Pennsylvania. I was in Pennsylvania, and I was at the airport, you know, and waiting for my flight, and they have a whole bunch of casinos right there next to them, a whole bunch of slots.
Yeah.
I was right there waiting for my flight. I said, what the hell, might as well play. And then
that's what you and Ryan and Mike did that. We were at, what was it, the Vegas airport. You guys wanted to play the slots and shit while we were waiting on the flight.
Yeah, fuck the slots. You never win any money, dude, unless you play the dollar.
You think you do because you win one once, but you sit there and you keep pumping money in, and by the next time you know it, you're broke as hell.
Yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous. Did you win any money?
Not really, about $92, and that's about it.
Hey man, if you don't lose all your money, that's a winning weekend because you get the fun to go with it.
It's better than what I did, man. When we were in Las Vegas, your goddamn brother Boone, you know,
he was the big winner, man.
I sit next to him at the slot machine, and he
it pisses you off.
Oh, dude, I got so pissed at him. Dude.
He kept winning, and you're doing the same thing he's doing. Why is he winning every freaking time?
Why is he picking the right machine? Why am I one machine over from the winning? You know what I mean? Screw him.
Yes.
What's up, Callie?
Yeah, what's happening? Okay, first a comment. I remember I seen Raw, and when they showed Mayweather, the fans didn't do nothing. Now, you know, I'm in the boxing, kind of maybe more than wrestling per se, and he has boxed a lot of boxing matches in Las Vegas. I thought that when they seen him walking backstage, they're like, whoa, I mean, they'd all be going nuts. They didn't say nothing.
I was thinking the same thing about that crowd. Like, it's a Vegas crowd, but it's also a WWE crowd because they knew the MVP balling thing. They knew, like, all the setup moves that the guys do for the crowd.
Yeah.
Do all the catchphrases, but at the same time, none of the Vegas people were over, you know. Mayweather wasn't but Marquez was, because when they said, when Jericho said he would knock out Mayweather, the crowd popped huge. They popped huge for Marquez, but not Mayweather.
Yeah, and the thing about Mayweather, when he was talking, they were booing him. I said, what the hell? The man's undefeated. He's beat.
Maybe it's just because he's Money Mayweather and he's a heel right now, so I don't know. Or maybe because his friend shot somebody up to death or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they say what the $250 million. I said, what's that, 250 bill, I think?
250 million, yeah.
A million? Yeah, okay, I thought they said billion. I'm like, whoa. They said, Vince said he's a billionaire, and then they said, well, Vince is a billionaire, and he's a $250 million. And I'm like, and all he does is fight. And I'm like, you know, nothing against that, but come on.
That's what he's earned. I mean, after taxes, he's no quarter.
Yeah, okay, but one wrestling question and two UFC questions. The wrestling question, I guess, for you, Ryan. You know how TNA blended like a lot of people go per se. Let's just say that they let Jared go. Let's just say, and let's say Raw was live in Orlando, Florida, and we didn't know this. Now, you know that it was like a tag team match against like another tag team person and a mystery opponent. let's say the mystery opponent was Jeff G comes out with Jeff Jarrett, and they're in Orlando, Florida, live. With the fans, what would they do? Would they boo him, or would they chant TNA, or chant Traitor, or chant You Sold Out?
Are you saying if Jeff Jarrett came to Raw as a surprise?
Yeah, surprise.
Okay.
Yeah, in Orlando, Florida, of all places, and that's like kind of TNA land. What would they chant? You know, Traitor.
Well, here, keep this in mind: is when you're in a WWE arena. I think I've said this before, but when you're in a WWE arena, 5%
Orlando or not,
people,
yeah,
5% of the people in that arena know what TNA is.
Even in Orlando, you're right. Yeah, it's not that big.
The other 95% of those people have no idea. So of course
you would have a smattering of You Sold Out chants, probably. Is what you
right, right. You're in Orlando, so you're going to have those smart marks that are in the arena. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have. I'm sure there would be some sort of chant directed at him, but the majority of people would have no idea where Jeff Jarrett's been in recent years, has no idea that he's been working for TNA. You know what I mean?
He owns it. I don't know. I think he would get a superstar reaction just because he's been around so long and he's been in every company and everybody knows who he is. But as far as the TNA stuff, I think he would get probably just some You Sold Out chants. And a lot of times when that stuff happens, if it's boisterous enough, even from a small group, if it's loud enough and they keep it going, eventually everybody in the arena will say it just because it's what's being chanted. And they might not even know what the hell they're talking about, but they'll be chanting right along with them, You Sold Out, just because that's the thing to do. The chants spread, you know. So
because I remember since he's like he said plenty of times he originated the company from the ground up, you know. So I thought that they would chant that. Because I remember when Tav was his last match in ECW, they all chanted You Sold Out.
Yeah, that was ECW though. Come on, man.
Okay, that's true. And two UFC questions actually for you, Mr. Matt. The first one is about about the Lesnar. I see Lesnar fighting a Carwin, I think it is. Is that a jobber? Or is that kind of heard of him? Is that actual comp, or is that like a jobber, like an easy Lesnar to knock out?
He's undefeated. He's a good wrestler, and he's got a very strong punch, so he could beat Lesnar, but he's not going to. I think Brock Lesnar will beat him. Probably TKO, get him on the ground and beat the shit out of him, but. I mean, he's a legitimate opponent, yeah. I mean, and they're going to build him as such. I mean, by the time you see the promotion for the event, you'll know who Shane Carwin is because he's undefeated. He's got. I think they had to make special gloves from when he came in because he had the biggest hands in MMA. Like the XXL gloves didn't fit him, and he's supposedly a bad motherfucker. I mean, they were going to do him and Cain Velasquez, and they just bumped it up because Brock wanted to stay busy, and because I think they wanted Brock and Tito on the same card because they're both the top heels, and on that undercard is going to be Tito Ortiz versus Mark Coleman in his comeback fight. So you'll have that, and then Brock and Shane Carwin. It'll be UFC 106 in November. So, but yeah, Shane Carwin's a legit guy. He's just not a big name, and he's not as dangerous as some people would have you believe. But he's a legitimate fighter, you know?
Okay. And do they want him to fight Tito? They want him to fight Tito next if he's able to beat Carwin, or when he beats Carwin, they want him to fight Tito next? Maybe?
No. Tito's 205, and Brock's way big for heavyweight. Even though Tito could fight at heavyweight, he would be a small heavyweight with guys like Brock running around. So they're not going to do that. And but I think they just the attraction